Hello and welcome back to Spinosaurus News. I am your host, Jack Spinosaurus, here with a special episode. Today we will only be talking about the Disney-Sony split. As you have probably heard, Sony and Disney have decided to split. What does that mean? Well, basically, it means they've decided not to renew the deal they had, meaning Spider-Man is officially out of the MCU. I know, very, very sad. I can tell you're all very, very sad right now. So, let's break down what we know happened. We have very little information, but I'll try to give you all the facts we know. So you have to take all I'm about to say with a grain of salt, as all the information we know is only from rumours, but we've had a few reliable sources come out and say this information, and very little statements from Sony and Disney themselves. Sony and Disney had been in negotiations to renew the contract for a little while. In their first deal, Disney got 5% of the profits from the Spider-Man movies, as well as 100% of the merchandising and most creative control over the movie. Meanwhile, Sony funded the project, got the rest of the products, and gave Disney the green or red light on what characters and what storylines they wanted to use. When Disney and Sony were renegotiating the deal, Spider-Man Far From Home had just made over $1 billion and become, firstly, the highest grossing Spider-Man movie of all time, and secondly, the highest grossing Sony movie of all time. It used to be a Bond movie, and Far From Home beat it. Disney clearly wanted more of a cut of the profits and wanted to go 50-50 with Sony. That would mean Disney would get 50% of the profits, but Disney would also...
I gotta get you guys out of here! Get on the jet! Who are you? I work with Spider-Man. You work for Spider-Man? I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man. New plan!
Spider-Man was their big franchise and they wanted to make money from it, of course, and refused the offer. This is the point where many believe Disney switched off from the negotiations. Sony tried some counter-offers, such as reportedly 25%, offering Disney 25% of Spider-Man movies. I think at one point it was reported that they also offered 30% of the profits from all Spider-Man movies, including Venom movies and Spider-Verse movies. So they clearly wanted Disney's help. But unfortunately, Disney weren't interested in any of those. So by the time negotiations were over, no deal was in place, which, as you can tell, probably wasn't a good thing. This was first reported on by Deadline. They had somehow got an inside scoop on the deal and found out that it wasn't going very well, and that at that point in time no deal was in place. God, this is starting to sound a lot like Brexit. Then the news spread like wildfire, with lots of news sources reported on it, such as The Sun, Variety. Basically every news source on the face of the planet were reporting this information, along with Instagram accounts, Twitter accounts, meme accounts. God, the memes for this tweeted about what had happened in negotiations. In summary, they said that they were disappointed that Disney had decided not to have Kevin Feige act as a producer on the next live-action Spider-Man movies, but still respected their decision. I don't think many people gave Sony enough credit, as they managed to explain the situation sensibly without blaming one particular party or escalating the situation. A lot of people immediately hated, and there was a lot of backslash surrounding the tweet, even though, in my personal, professional opinion, is the tweet is very concise and to the point. It's sensible, it doesn't escalate the situation, you know. I thought it was a sensible tweet, but of course I was still holding on hope. Now, of course, even after this statement, people still held out hope. Maybe they'll announce something at the D23 Expo. Maybe the backlash that has formed around their decision will make them try and reach a new deal. I mean, some people were even reporting that Sony stocks had gone down, because a lot of people at first were blaming Sony, even though we now know it was a bit of both. Everyone kept trying to make excuses, but no one would accept the fact that maybe a new deal couldn't be reached. I was one of those people who really wanted the deal. I mean, I really like the MCU Spider-Man, and I'm pretty sure that it's stated in the deal they had that if the contract is broken, Sony will have to reboot Spider-Man, and they cannot continue the same Spider-Man. They won't have to, reboot with a new actor, but they'll have to reboot as in new origin story, which will be infuriating to see. But then, the Sony CEO, Tony Vinciquerra, I can't pronounce that, it's Vinciquerra, I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry, made a statement. In summary, he said that for now, Spider-Man wouldn't be in the MCU, and Sony had no ill will towards Disney or Marvel, but were just disappointed that they decided not to renew the deal, and that Spider-Man was in good hands. Which I agree with. Many people are just hating on Sony because of their past ventures with Spider-Man. For example, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. The fact that those movies exist still sadden me. I used to get enjoyment out of them, now I don't. But a lot of people really hate on Sony, but I still believe that they can make a good movie as long as they follow a good story, you know. So at this point, me and many other people realised that Spider-Man was officially out of the MCU. So that has been the video. I hope you learned something new. If you liked the video, please smash like. Subscribe for more content. If you do subscribe, be sure to hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload. Linked to my new editor, Josh, thank you for editing this video, linked to his channel in the description. Go give him a sub, he deserves it. He spends lots of time on this video. Anyway, I've been Jack Spinosaurus, you guys have been awesome. See you in the next Spinosaurus news video. Goodbye.